Hey, what's going on? Good morning, friends. Welcome back, YouTube, to another update. Let's turn the promotions on. We got some GMF happening here, still up 1,700% from the launch of GMF. If you guys want to check that out, there's a nice discount dip for you. We're all assuming that 2026 is going to be our year, and if it's not, then whatever. You know, crypto's being really sketchy, and yeah, everybody's feeling the burn. Everybody's feeling the burn. Even I got blocked by Richard. Yeah, I told him his chain had AIDS as it's making new all-time lows. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why my mental capital has been taxed. Just waiting for this bull run or anything, just anything. Give me something all year, just nothing. So, you know, it was the year of the snake. Next year's year of the horse. And we all know that horses run fast when they're not doused with ketamine. So let's figure out what we got going on here. So last night I gave an update and I was looking for this bullish order block to hold support. And we were kind of dangling inside of this candle here. And my target was this guy here. And I was mentioning if I woke up and we were just above that line here, that I would use this for a ride and take profits in here. Now, I just uploaded the screenshot to my Twitter. So if you guys want to go take a look at that. I was not anticipating that deep of a run, honestly. And I mean, welcome to holiday seasons. So here is the area I was mentioning I was going to take a trade if we were above there for the at least opening bell or like NFP, unemployment claims kind of thing. And we were still here. And that's the Asian range there. And we were still here. So I did take a long right in here. I took an exit on this candle, an exit on this candle, and then I moved my stop up to about right here. And I was mentioning to my private students that if price action, actually, yeah, I moved it up after it started reaching in here. And I was mentioning, like, if it starts, yeah, my stop was right here. And if I mentioned that, like, if we started losing this breaker and this inversion fair value gap, that I wanted to at least bank something. So the trade that I had forecasted last night, I took, and then it did this. That's part of being, you know, once your trade's done and complete, I just sit it out. It's a rule. I don't care what happens after. And I know you might be thinking, oh, but it went down to your targets. It dropped through the order block and blah, blah, blah. Look, I was looking for something specific. Those specifics happened. I executed. I banked. And I really have no care whatsoever that price ran 1,000 points without me. I really don't. And that took a long time to do. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you how liberating and how freeing it is to let price move without you. It's something that 95% of the world cannot do. And they think just because candles are moving that it was their trade. This was not my trade. Okay, I was not anticipating this order block here. That's the low of that down close candle, and that's the high of that down close candle. Here, I'll give you a little side by side here. So this is the area I'm talking about. That's the high of the down close candle. Here's the low of the down close candle. So when we were dangling above this black line here and this up close candle, that was this here, and this was my trade. I set aside time for it. I was anticipating a run back up at least into the premium market, and it never gave it to me. So it ended up doing the exact opposite is what I wanted to do and ran out for that bullish order block. Now, if you remember, I was mentioning I'm not calling both directions. I'm looking for something specific. And I gave you some very key price points that if we started losing, what level did I give you where price would want to gravitate toward? That was this level here. If we lost the bullish order block, this is what I would be, aiming for essentially. And that's exactly where price went. So look, I'm not trying to champion that I called it, because technically I didn't call it. I was looking for a premium rip. And I got my trade. I got my trade I wanted. That was this little guy right here. And then she just collapsed into the equal lows and into the low of that accumulation range, and essentially into that sell side liquidity pool. Oh man, welcome to the holiday season. And I mean, we've been dealing with this garbage since like the second week of October. It's been a wild ride. You guys have watched me call out price action consistently the night before and then trade those exact same price points that I've been looking for. When I'm telling you that it's been a rough market, I'm not saying this just to like pass it off as anything other than a rough market. I'm not making excuses. It literally is. Even my mentor is saying he's never seen it like this. And if you notice, his presentations are few and far in between, because when he's looking for something, he's looking for an organized price run, low resistance, very dynamic and to the point. And I mean, that is pretty low resistance, very dynamic and to the point. But I mean, like before the holidays, before he leaves, he's not like posting every day. He's not, trying to demo trade every day or trade every day. And that should be the way it is. You shouldn't want to be trading every day. You shouldn't want to be just trying to get in everything that moves. It's a part of being a master of your own self and being comfortable in your own skin. So, my thing, like I will champion what I did and forecasted for sure, because, that was beautiful. We stayed in this Asian range all night. We hit this, what is that? What was that? That was the tail of this candle. And, we bounced off of the lower quadrant there. And then for our 7 a.m. started bouncing off the high. And then that little piece there, right? That was the 8:30 a.m. little unemployment claims. I was considering, just because of this snap up, that we could have made the bottom, and and we didn't. So that's just what happens. It's not like it's not like it was unexpected. Do you know what I mean? Like if you start losing specific price points, it's likely gonna go the opposite direction. And it went right to where, if we were to lose consequent encroachment of, I believe, mean threshold of this order block, then this is what I'd be aiming for. And so, I mean, I called both directions and it basically went both ways. That's funny. No, I'm just kidding though. For homework, I want your order flow studies in here, because this is a big run. I want your breaker on. I want your unicorn on. I want to see all that cool stuff, and your homework is to measure this Judas and figure out which deviation from the Judas, and use the 15-minute, okay? Typically we'll use the 5, but this one just seemed a lot more nice. Use this Judas here and measure and see which deviation we found a bottom at for the day. Do we get a ride back up? Yeah, probably. This week was just absolutely wild. Expect this throughout the holidays. I would still, because this price point here wasn't reached, I would still like to see that at either like next week or even tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Let's just check out the VIX for a minute and see if we got some violence coming. Typically I'm using like a 40, 50, 60 tick stop, but when the volatility index starts creeping up like that, what I do is I kind of double it. So a maximum's like 120 ticks. Okay. So like 30 handles. That's what I'll be, instead of my 40, 50, 60 ticks, it'll be 120 ticks, just base line, like a standard for a stop loss. So if it starts, I don't know if you guys were with me during this, but we had to drop to micros. The tiniest little movement was 100 ticks. I capitalized on 2,062 ticks when the volatility index was up there. And that was freaking awesome. So if you notice our last bull run here, the volatility index was like peaking, right? Previous bull run to that peaking. So I'm expecting that for 2026. I think the year of the transition is coming to an end. I just don't know if it's going to be the final quarter of this calendar year that ends it or the final quarter of the algorithmic year, which ends in April. And that's the beginning of our algorithmic years in April. So it's just like, we're playing it by ear. We're just going day by day. We're not doing any wild major macro forecasts right now. What do you call it? The commitment of traders is likely still flatlining. So I'm not looking for, soon we'll be hitting big runs, running time stops, and doing all that cool stuff we used to do. Okay, just for now. Oh, we're in a sell program. Okay, so being in a sell program, a daily chart, 6 months. Yeah, holy shnikey. All right, that moved because we got a new 60 days. So wild. This used to be flatlining in a buy program, flatlining at equilibrium here. So we are in a sell program. So the best place to sell short is above old highs. So I would expect that we're going to run back up to a premium eventually. And then what do we do from there? Usually when you're in a sell program, you are trying to sell short above old highs. So like, the best place to catch a short would be above here. And that's that weekly order block right here. The one that I wanted us to blast through this month that we did not. So my monthly projection completely offside. And I'm okay with that because I'm still profitable. I can be offside and profitable, and you just got to learn how to do it. It's all good. So where did we bottom out? We bottomed out right here, right at the order block. That's funny. Check this out. Bam, right there. Pretty sweet, huh? That's that line I just put on the chart. So is the bottom in for the week? It could be. We could make another low. Look, I can't stand Fridays, okay? And this is the first time in history that we've had an NFP on a Thursday in the middle of the month. And yeah, so make sure you're journaling because you never know if there's going to be another government shutdown and news events, prolonged, tentative, taken right off the freaking Forex factory. It's just like that sometimes. But this one is the first one in history that it's been so retarded, just to put it bluntly. And so, yeah, here we are in a discount, and I would like to see us start traveling back up. So we got the last week of the month coming up here, and I'll go more over that on Sunday's update. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys and show you what happened. And even though I didn't get to see my targets, that is a double top, and that is also a double top, and that is also a wickless candle. So we do have some stuff to reprice into. Look, I'll show you in the NQ1. Okay, check this out in the continuous contract. This bugged me out for a long time. It might have actually been in the weekly chart because I remember when this bear market started here that there was an inefficiency, and it doesn't show up on here. There was actually a gap on this particular chart in the front run contract for this specific time where there was a new week opening gap that was never repriced to up until we ended up making that high there. I'm pretty sure it was that one. No, wait. No, I wasn't around. Oh, I wasn't really into it right there. No, it had to have been this one. Yeah, I think the continuous contract was like that. But just notice the theme here, right? You got this, well, there was no trend shift until here, right? And there's the fair value gap. Now, watch this. You got a double top. Reprice is lower. There's your lower high. Trend continues. Trend breaks here. Higher low confirms the trend break, and then the higher low in the set, and then it runs for that double top. So even if we do get a little bear market here, it's setting up pretty much the exact same. I know we're in the weekly chart, but if you drop into the daily chart, and it's fractal, so it's likely going to repeat, right? You've got a double top, trend break with a fair value gap, continues the trend, and maybe we do gravitate lower for December and into April. It would suck, but like as far as like a crypto cycle is concerned, it would totally suck, but we're just kind of sitting here all wrecked together. So, uh, yeah, I'm not selling, right? So you can click sell and leave anytime you'd like, but I'm not. I'm gonna sit here and wait for violence. Yeah. So let's go back to our front run contract here, and yeah, damn. So even when we were here, I was mentioning if we lost some specific price points that this would be an area I was aiming for, and I was looking for maybe Tuesday low of the week. It was looking pretty sweet, and then it was looking even sweeter this morning until this afternoon just completely collapsed. That's awesome. And I mean, if I would have forecasted that, that would have been great. And it's not like I said, it wasn't unexpected, right? But it's annoying when you wake up and everything you want to see is on side. You're like, yay, trading's awesome. Boom. So funny. And he didn't really make much of a retracement. And yeah, so let's go to the weekly chart and let's just get rid of all this. Okay, let's start nice and clean. So we got our weekly range and then our 20 to 30% retracement level. Okay, and that's these two levels right here. Okay, so this is basically if tomorrow we make another little low here, then we're gonna have to adjust our fib. And then if you're looking for a scalp back to the upside, these are the levels. It could be met tonight and then just peter around. If it wants to start accelerating, obviously this would be a spot I'd be looking for. Let's check out this candle here. The open, and I'm looking at the top left up here, right there. So the open is 24,39625 and the high is 24,39625. So there's no wick on that candle. So that's going to be a payday right there. Have this sucker on your chart too, inversion fair value gap. What makes it an inversion is we're likely going to SR flip it. How do you know? Just call it a lucky guess if we actually get up there. And yeah, so this will be like something I would like to see resistance at first and then snap up, or maybe it just SR flips and we go up there tonight, which would be, look, the timing is so annoying, you guys. I was feeling really cool this morning. Everything was looking perfect down to the minute. Everything was just awesome. And then and then it wasn't. So it's just whatever. You got to laugh it off. I just hope that you guys are not tilting. It's just before Christmas. You guys should have a pretty good data set in your journal to have a relationship for what I'm about to say, which is you do good on good days, organized, favorable days where it's obvious, you can forecast it, it's doing what you want to do. You pass evaluations, maybe you even get a payout, but then when you get to that next level up, the market becomes unorganized, spazzy, just wicky, right? And that's where you destroy yourselves because you're so used to being in control. And then when you're not in control, you feel like I had this one student ask me, what am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong here? You didn't do anything wrong. You keyed off of a higher time frame, you followed a model, but the algorithm just had bigger fish to fry. That's it. If you were following a model, if you're trading in your times to trade, you're doing good. It doesn't matter if you take a loss. Peacock, pat yourself on the back, because it's not right or wrong. It's on or offside. But when you say, what am I doing wrong? Or I'm doing this wrong, you're already admitting defeat. The only thing that you should be considering wrong is not minding how much your business is spending per permitted trading day. That's wrong. What's right is that you're following a model, you're managing your risk on a daily and weekly basis, and that's what's going to keep you consistent. So instead of using the good organized days to start over and start right from scratch, brand new eval, go through the loop again, and then get wrecked on an unorganized day, because everybody can make money on a good day. right? So instead of completely entering terrorist mode where you're got hot dog strapped to your belt and you're just ready to go, you know, just boom. Instead of doing that and starting all over again, mind your risk, walk away, and don't tilt. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do in your entire life. There is nothing more harder than what we're doing here. And you got to kind of like the abuse, you know? So just keep it at ease, okay? Don't be stressing yourselves out. It's just before Christmas, and I want you guys to have a very Merry Christmas. I want everybody to, whether you're getting paid out or not, okay? You got to continue your lives, business as usual. Don't be looking for feel goods. You know, let your trades be obvious. Let your setups come to you. Let them come to you. You guys haven't figured it out yet, but the algorithm caters to us. That's right. That is right. The algorithm caters to us, the inner circle. Okay? So when that finally clicks and you understand that price goes above old highs just to go below old lows, or vice versa, price action comes below old lows just to reprice above old highs. When this finally clicks, that's it. It's pretty much game over. You've wrapped it, and you've got cheat codes here. Okay, so don't give up on your studies. Just because things are unorganized right now doesn't mean you switch your plan, doesn't mean you go buy a new indicator, doesn't mean you just stop doing what you're doing, because that's where you're going to, it's just like your evals, you know, that's where you start over again. Oh, now I got to learn this whole new system. And guess what? That system's going to be the same as this. It's going to be the same as divergence, trend lines, moving averages, all that stuff. Excuse me. You have to spend time with it, and you can't ditch it if it walks on you. You know, if your girlfriend thought you were cheating on her and she comes out and slashes your tires, but you knew you weren't cheating on her, right? Are you going to forgive her? Or are you going to go get a new indicator? All right. Maybe she just loves you so much, she put sugar in your gas tank because she didn't want you to go to work that week. You know, you're losing and not making money, but you're not going to go get a new girlfriend. So don't ditch your model, okay? It's your personalized experience, and you have to remain consistent and be tenacious. All right. I love you guys. Do well. Keep it light. Keep it tight tomorrow. I got no expectations beyond TGIF retracement. Nice dynamic range this week. And I will update you on Sunday for what I expect, or what we could be expecting for the final week of this month. I think it's the final week. We'll double check. But yeah, we'll go through the news events and what's going on Sunday. Keep it light. Keep it tight. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and be safe.